For those of you who have watched my videos in the past, I wanted to give you an update on where I am with things. I haven't done many videos lately because I haven't been working on alcohol stoves, and I know that a lot of my videos pertain to alcohol stoves. I picked up on a few new hobbies here and there. Started out with, I was making a Foundry to, let me grab that really quick. Okay, as I was saying, I started out by making a Foundry here. As you can see, my old Foundry here, to make alcohol stove out of a Foundry. I thought it would be really cool to make it from scratch. I had a couple attempts at it. 3 actually. These are 2 of the fails. Haven't given up 100% on that yet. But while doing that, I started playing with melted aluminum. Got really into it, and I melted a lot of cupcakes, basically, as you can see there. Let's see. Yeah, they're kind of in the shop there. Made a bunch of cupcakes, aluminum cupcakes. Gonna make a bunch more though. I kind of got into that. It was really fun. But my old Foundry started to collapse. It just didn't have what it took with the perlite. So I decided it was time to step that up. Well, in order to step that up, I saw an idea of a large Foundry made out of a water tank. Well, I had a friend who was getting rid of a water tank, and that immediately jumped into my mind. I need that. I gotta make that Foundry I saw online on YouTube. And I don't know if the guy's still out there. I'll put a link below, but he made one very similar to this. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how I was going to do mine because I didn't have anywhere to weld. I had some friends that could weld, but they just, they had their own things to do, and so there's time involved, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So I wanted to do it, and didn't have a lot of money to go out and buy a welder and all this just to make a Foundry. So I started watching some videos about welding, and I found a guy who made his own welder. Be right back. At least you know something else. Alright, so this doesn't look like much, I'm sure you guys are in the know and know what a welder looks like, but this is my homemade welder. I'll have to show it to you in another video because it's pretty complex. You can find them online if you look. What I used is a MOT or a MOT, or a transformer out of a microwave oven. So it's MOT stands for microwave oven transformer. And you rewire them with larger coil on the top than was originally there. Originally it had 2,000 wraps on the top. I rewrapped it with some different wire. I think this is 6 gauge. No, I take it back. It's probably 10 gauge. I don't know what it is exactly. I know it's 6 gauge actually. So I wrapped it with some 6 gauge wire. I think I did 36 wraps around the top. For anybody who is curious, I'll go into that a little more. I used 2 microwave oven transformers. I used the 2 E parts of the transformer and turned them and put them back together. I kept 2 primaries on the bottom, linked them together to give me a total of 36 volts, and I get about 180 amps out of this thing, which is my most recent problem, is that I have too much amperage for some of the sticks that are out there. Some of the smaller sticks that I'd like to weld with. So that's my welder. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it does work. That being said, I can now weld. Well, when I say I can now weld, what I mean to say is I have the ability to do a weld with the equipment that I've built. It doesn't mean that I can weld yet. Anyways, a weld is, I guess, joining 2 metals together, and that I have been able to do successfully. So I've taken and bought myself some square round here, welded up a frame. This bottom frame is actually a display for a store that they were throwing out, and I actually got 2 of them for $10, so I bought them. Made a perfect base for my Foundry. I know it's got plastic wheels. I'm working on that. I haven't found any metal casters yet. So I'm still trying to find some metal casters. Harbor Freight only has rubber or plastic. So I welded in some. These are my first welds right here. These little brackets in the bottom just to keep my water heater from jumping off. My second weld was this pipe coming up, the square pipe coming up, which allowed me to put a gas black pipe in here. Oops. To spin it around. Open, close. I'm going to put a stop over on this side so it doesn't go past, because right now it will pass. So I'm going to put a stop over here, weld that in. And then I'm going to put a little pin right here to where I just lift it a little and then spin it back. And I look back, so right now you can see I have a gap of about, a little over a centimeter. It's not perfect, level across, but it'll do because I can level it out. This is not welded down to the bottom, it's just sitting there. So I can raise and lower that to where I like it. Once I get it where I like it, and I have all my concrete or refractory inside of this, then I will finalize the height of this thing. Because I don't want to have these touching and rubbing each other. I want them to be an 1/8 inch apart. And then I'm hoping to use some ceramic wool in here. Haven't decided that yet. So that's my welding apparatus that I made. I'm sorry, my Foundry apparatus that I made while playing with a welder. See on this side. It's got a nice little handle. And push it around, I can move around. Swings open and closed. I got a shot of the inside. I'll bring you up closer, but I'll show you the inside a little bit. If I can get in here. Bring it back. I don't have good lighting in this part of the basement, so it's hard to get any kind of real shots of the inside. So right now the inside is just a bunch of bolts, and now that I can weld and have fun welding, I did a lot of practice welds, just bolts and some screws in here. They're not perfect. This one actually sounded like it was going to crack. You can see what I'm saying. They're not perfect. So I'm getting better at it though. My welds are pretty crappy. This has a ceramic coating on the inside, so I had to bust a little of that free to find a spot to weld to each time. It looks like I'm doing a new weld there. So these are screws just to hold the refractory in, so it doesn't fall or crumble. Most of them are pretty solid, but not all of them. Like I said, it's a process. I've actually burnt some holes through it as I was welding. I'm really bad at welding, I decided, because let's see if I can get a shot of my really bad weld here, or at least one of my really bad welds. You probably can't see it from here, but you see the hole right there? I just weld right through things, burn through them. I started just doing some tack welding because I was literally burning through everything. Let's see if I can see it here. Oh, this thing's super tight today. There we go. Over here, you can see I do a lot better at tack welding. And I did an okay weld there. Well, I say it's okay. You guys may think it's crap. But anyways, this is really just an update to tell you where I'm at. I'm doing I've been working on this Foundry a lot lately. Been working on building those welders, learning how it's all done, learning how to weld. Weld some things for my dad the other day, just one little thing he asked me to weld. But I am going to get back into the stove building here. I just haven't put the time aside for it. So like I said, I started a new project, get a hobby going, and I finish it, go full force until I'm done, So this is my most recent project. I've got all my refractory mix put together here. Well, ready to go. Ooh, dust. Don't have my mask on. Shouldn't be playing with it without a mask on. Yeah, well, I'll show you some of the stuff that's in there. Over here I've got my bag of silica, I've got Portland cement, I've got perlite, and I've actually used all my fire clay in the mix I've mixed up. That's what I ran out of, that's why I stopped mixing it. I'm sure I'll have enough. There's 5-gallon buckets of it there. So when I'm done making this, I don't know what I'm going to do with the excess I made. But, I mix that up in a mix that is, here, let me check real quick. So here's the mix I used. Oh, yeah, lovely. You can't read it. I'll just read it to you. So it's Portland cement, 1.5 parts, silica sand, 2 parts, perlite, 1.5 parts, fire clay, 2 parts, and water to moisten it. You mix the Portland cement, the silica, and the perlite, get them all mixed up really good, and then you mix the fire clay in, and then you add the water. I think that's right. I found that online, so don't trust me. Check online. I haven't even used it yet, so I wouldn't trust that. We'll see if it lasts. So my inner lining is going to be a bucket. I'm going to put this bucket down in there. Bust it off all the edging of it and all that, and that's going to be my inner lining. And then I'll just cut this out when I'm done inside here. So that's how I'm going to make the walls. I'll cement around that and below it first. And then I'll cut this out and I'll have myself a nice 10-inch, I think so that is, 10 and a half. And then 11 at the top maybe, I don't know, it kind of curves out. And then the top, I haven't figured out what I'm going to use for a center hole yet. I'll probably use some kind of coffee can or something right up in here to keep this open. But otherwise, that's what I've been doing. I haven't done any videos because it really doesn't pertain to stove work, and I know that my site's kind of dedicated to stove work, so I haven't posted a whole lot of videos. Plus, I've been learning, and I don't like to, do all my screw-ups and stuff, which, you can see a lot of them. Here's some of the worst ones down here at the bottom, actually. My welding screw-ups. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Anyways, I'll get some close-up shots to show you how bad it is, because the video doesn't do it justice. Anyways, I've got a lot going on, and I still am out here, and I'm still doing stuff, but I wanted to show everybody where I stood and what I was doing. So, just to give you an update on where I am, and we'll get back at the stove building eventually here. It's just, it's summer. It's time to get outside and do things. I've been on 3 camping trips already this summer. I've got to get myself in shape because I'm going on another 75-mile hike coming up next year, so I got to start working out and getting myself in shape and working on my pack and getting it light as I can. But, summer's a good time to goof around and do stuff, and this has mostly been going on for the last 3 months, probably, working on this in the winter and the rainy time. So, anyways, that's my update. We will chat at you guys later. I'll give you some videos on how the arc welder works when I get a chance to get it all out and weld something again.